Hey there, this is Malorian, and we're now on to the last bonus episode battle report of Brawler Bash. You guys are probably already feeling a little bit swamped because this has been a lot of reports, but there's just one more. So the tournament's done, we did the doubles, we did the regular 5-game tournament, and then after, I had my game against Nick, and it's now the next day. And, me and OnceBitten were kind of talking about just gaming and stuff like that. I'm talking about my high elves and how I just can't play them and how they wreck the meta and how they were just dominating games. And he's basically like, well, bring it on, basically, right? He wants to see this in action and see what's actually going to go down when he actually goes up against it. So he doesn't have the model, so we're going to be lots of proxies here. So if you don't like proxies, this is not the battle report for you. However, most of it makes pretty good sense for what things are representing. And then what I'm going to be up against is his little banishment type of thing going on there with his empire list. So this is probably one of the hardest things for my list to take on, is all these cannons and banishment and stuff, but let's see what happens. Alright, so the game we're doing here is just a regular battle line, but the way this whole deployment kind of went down is he all kind of went over in one corner, which is the smartest thing to do, right? You want to castle when you're up against a very mobile army, so it'll be easier for me to go over his stuff when we get there. But from my side, on the far left here, this is actually my Dragon Mage. The Eagle is an Eagle. The Hounds and the kind of beastmen models that don't have spears, they are going to be having spears and bows. The little giant man with the little cobblestone or whatever stuff there, that's one of my Frostheart Phoenixes. Then over here there is the dragon. That's actually going to be my Archmage on the Moon Dragon. Then we're going to be having the Griffin, which is going to be my Griffin. Then the other monster thing there, gore whatever thing, that's my second Frostheart Phoenix. The 3 archer units are archer units. The units here with spears are reavers with just spears. The little red bull thing, that's my other eagle, and that's really my list. For his side over there, he has the demigriffs, he has the steam tank, he has the big huge unit there of the halberdiers, and in there he has his BSB. Back behind he has his Hurricanum, then he has his Hellblaster, there is an Arc Lector on the War Altar there, and then he has a second horde of halberdiers, and behind that is a bunker of archers with all of his mages and cool stuff. He also has a cannon back there, and that's really it. So really, when we were doing the back and forth and trying to figure out where these things are, I was looking at it, and I was thinking that it'd probably be best if I could hit this from the left side, right? If I come at this thing straight on, I have to worry about his counterattack and stuff like this, whereas the way that he's castled up here in the line, if I hit it hard on the left side, he won't really be able to bring things to bear, and I can take it on his army piece by piece. Another thing here too is I want this Hellblaster gone, and with my archers I should be able to go up, maybe with some magic missiles, shoot down the Hellblaster. Normally my first thing to shoot would be the cannon. One of the things that's a little bit iffy here is, of course, with cannons you need to be able to see the ground that you're shooting at, and where he has behind the halberdiers, he won't probably be able to do that, but I wasn't going to get picky about line of sight stuff. Let's just get this going. So of course we have some vanguards and stuff, and so I'm moving up, and he has this little Pegasus, Captasus guy here as well that he's going to have. That's going to be a pain. he decides to go easy on me first turn, and he misfires on his steam tank, so that's fantastic. You know, this thing's going to be a real pain, because whereas normally my army can just jump around and you can't really catch it, you know, steam tanks don't care. They just go and turn and smash you wherever you are. So otherwise, after his first turn, it looks like this, and he really did nothing. He was able to shoot one unit of Reavers, kill a few. They panicked, ran through my lines, but they're going to be rallying. He didn't make them small enough so that they couldn't. So, yeah, that was really it. His banishment was really... He just didn't really have really good dice, so kind of killed his own magic phase. Shooting didn't really work out for him. Misfire, and that's really his turn. So my first turn, I'm zipping in there, and the nice thing with all these Reavers is they can just really shut things down. You know, like I said, the steam tank's scary, but it can't overrun or anything cool like that. So I just go and I throw these remaining guys here just to stop them, and everything else is up here to really just take advantage, so that if those halberdiers move at all, I can charge them. I'm also behind the fence here as well, so if the cannon comes, it'll just eat one of those, and then I can really dedicate in. Over here, same type of thing. I move up the eagle so that I can really kind of threaten a lot of different things. If he comes at me, I can flee. And one of the biggest things I'd love to have is for him to break up this tight formation, so I have a way to get behind his lines. So if he charges me and I can flee and do failed charges, that'd be awesome. As well, the Griffin is positioning itself so that it could charge the Hellblaster and still get cover if it was going to shoot at me. Now, you might wonder where the hell is that Hellblaster, and that's because my whole archer thing worked and I was able to shoot it down. I did probably get pretty lucky here, but hey, I'll take it. Otherwise, he charges in here and the Demigryphs on his turn. And the steam tank doesn't actually come into these guys, but the Cactuses does. Over here, he decides to charge the eagle. It's kind of a long charge for him. I believe he needed an 8 or a 9. I decide that's safe enough, and so I actually take it. He fails, and now his failed movement will mean that there's enough room for me to land and go after that cannon. His shooting really fails him. I believe he gets a misfire again, and then eventually the big thing here is going to be that he's going to just destroy one little piece of wall, and that's really it. So otherwise, yeah, in the combat, he's able to really kill the stuff that's here. The Demigryphs, of course, didn't want to overrun. They just reformed so that they wouldn't just be offering up flanks and stuff, and, you know, offer a little bit more defense still. But otherwise, this is still fun. You know, I've lost a little bit of my fast cav and stuff like this, but I still got eagles and more fast cav to go. So overall, this is what it's looking like here. One of the things he was able to do was get one wound onto my dragon so far with one banishment. I actually got pretty lucky there. You know, banishment is pretty nasty, and strength 7 can definitely do wounds to beasts and stuff like that. So I saved the ones on the mage, and one snuck through in the dragon, but, you know, I'm feeling pretty good. With my next magic phase, I could maybe even heal that up, and now it's go time. And so looking at this, I was trying to decide my different options. One of the things I could have maybe done if my Reavers weren't in the way is I could have just swarmed that steam tank and try and do the wounds to it to take it off the table. I could also probably try and just rush the Demigryphs, get rid of them, but I really just don't want to have to lose a beast to the steam tank. So I think I'm going to actually switch gears now and switch over to the right side. And first of all, I get some charges off, so that's going to help. I get the eagle into the cannon, so it's pretty much dead. And I get the griffin into the archlector. Now, this is one of the nice things I like about the griffin, in that it's kind of a monster I can throw away. Like, it's pretty okay, especially if I combine it with a Frostheart Phoenix, so that it's basically +1 toughness as well. But this will be great. You know, I probably won't beat him, but this is going to be a long grind, and the main thing is if I got him engaged, this is one banishment I don't need to worry about. Otherwise, the different stuff going on is I just kind of shift my whole line over here, and one of the things I loved is that his BSB was not in a unit. He came out here and he was out in the open, and I was like, oh boy, I'm going to blast him. So I go for my Soul Quench, and remember, I got the Book of Hoeth, so I can re-roll a dice. So I throw 3 dice at it, roll horrible, re-roll one of the ones, turns into another one, and that's the magic phase. So that's pretty horrendous because not only did I not kill anything, but because I didn't get any spells off, I didn't boost up my ward save either. So that kind of sucks. So this is my final setup here. Really what's going on is I have the Fire Dragon sneaking up behind his lines. The Eagle is stopping the Steam Tank from getting into me. The 2 Frost Hearts and the Dragon are over here. I destroy the cannon and I'm looking inside. He can come at me with his halberdiers if he wants, but I'm not really worried about it. But one of the mistakes I did make here is that, and I should know this because I use this trick all the time, but he could actually charge the left halberdiers at the Eagle, who they'll obviously beat, overrun, and then get to the Dragon. At the time, I just didn't think he would do that, right? That he would just charge straight in and go for the Dragon. Although, looking back on it, you know, even if you get those halberdiers to my flank, I'm probably still going to hold them up for the whole game and probably beat them, and they'd still block the Steam Tank. So maybe it wouldn't be that bad, but definitely something I screwed up on and I could have placed better. So that's what's going to happen here. Like I said, the halberdiers come into the Eagle, and I'm cursing my poor placement because I also had another unit of Reavers that could have ran up here and blocked the halberdiers, but I was just saving them for later. The other halberdiers come into this Frost Heart, and I'm not really too worried about this, right? He has the ranks in this one, but between my Thunderstomps and everything, and currently he has +1 ward save, so I have a 4+. You know, I should be able just to smash these guys, win, and then next turn go in with double Frost Heart, or I could bring the Frost Heart to the other side. You know, I have a lot of options, so he gets into me, but I should just have to start the grind. However, when he beats the Eagle, he panics my Archmage on Dragon. I'm like, it's got to be immune to Psych or something, right? Like, this can't be right. I'm scared of an Eagle, but no, I am. And so I break and I come over here. In doing so, I fly through the Frost Phoenix, and then I also panic the Frost Phoenix. So that's why the giant guy is fleeing to the left, you know, fleeing from the closest unit. My dragon's over here fleeing, so pretty much my left Frost Phoenix is going to die when he overruns into it, but as long as the right one holds, I basically save my dragon. So this could actually be okay. Oh yeah, unless of course that Frost Phoenix also kind of whiffs, breaks, and then I lose it too. And it was just, oh, what just happened? What in the world just happened? Because just like that, you snap your fingers, and I am down my Archmage, my Dragon, both my Frost Hearts, and my Eagle. And it's just, this is not how this was supposed to happen. And you know, at the time, I was just like kind of giggling and, you know, looking at how silly it was. And OnceBitten was kind of wondering, like, why is he not flipping over the table? Like, this was so ridiculous. You know, he would be so angry if this happened to him. But, you know, at least being an Orc and Goblin player, I'm prepared for ridiculous things like this. And this is one of those things where, you know, if this was something more to do because of my bad positioning, okay, I'd be mad at myself. But this is just the dice gone crazy, and what can you do? Otherwise, the Griffin is fighting in combat, it loses a wound, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah, and then here's just another picture of the overall. So, I still have the Fire Dragon, so that's something. And maybe I can get back to like get some points from killing the stuff in the back, because I mean he has all those characters back in that bunker. So if I can get there, maybe that can work. Yeah. So on my turn over here, oh geez, so we missed actually a bunch of stuff from last time. Let's cover that. The Eagle charged into the bunker on my turn and died. The bunker just killed it. tried charging his mage with the fire dragon here just to try and make it take a terror test. It passed. Tried casting some fireball stuff. It failed. And now on his turn, he has a Captasis that's going after my fire dragon. He's just extreme clipping because of the wheels, or the wings rather. And then the steam tank is going into my reavers. Otherwise, how things pretty much turn out is he still is kind of going after my archers. So he has the one halberdier unit going to the building. The other one, I guess, kind of reforms to go back the other way. And yeah, what happens? He kills my reavers, obviously. And then in the combat, I figure I'm going to be okay, right? It's a freaking dragon against a Pegasus. But, you know, I do my fire. He has a Dragon Bang gem, so he does no damage there. And then overall, I do like no wounds to him. He wins by a charge and a flank. I break and go off the table. And so I'm down another monster. OnceBitten asks if I want to just call the game. And I say, well, I still got one monster on the board. Let's just wait until that guy dies. So on my turn, I go for some desperate charges. Since he turned this block around, the 2 units of archers here try doing the charge. They both fail. And here on his turn, these guys charge into my rear, and that's going to be a hell of a lot of combat res I won't be able to deal with. And over here, he gets to clean up even more stuff. I threw 2 reavers in the way of his demi-griffs, and they're not going to last long. And yeah, over here, break and die, and pretty bad stuff. So what a crazy, silly game. You know, we were talking about after, and like I said, this stuff shouldn't have happened. I did make a little bit of a mistake there where I did not redirect those halberdiers correctly, and it could have caused some issues, even though I was talking about how I think that even though I made a mistake, it might have worked out in the end. The big thing that we were talking about after is that OnceBitten was just really impressed with what this list can do, how mobile it is, and just how threatening it is, because it just comes at you fast, it goes wherever it wants, and it has all those monsters, all the shooting to take down, help to take down the war machines. You know, I can also take down war machines with fireballs and soul quench, right? Just throwing dice and just trying to get 6s. And once those war machines go down, what are they going to do against you, right? So, looking at this, he was actually really excited to play this same list. He has a tournament coming up, and he's like, oh, maybe I could get this ready, but not really. It won't really be able to have time to get stuff like that together. But it was really good to see that he liked the list. You know, it is kind of a more extreme thing. A lot of more people for High Elves do more of the Death Star type thing, right? We got the big unit of the Phoenix Guard, or the White Lions, or the Dragon Princes, and you got the characters in there, and the Banner of the World Dragon, and all this stuff. And this says, no, like, no. Leave that stuff behind, mount your dragons, bring out the Frost Phoenixes, let's go. And it's a lot more an aggressive and probably interesting list to play instead of more just stagnant. Of course, leadership can be a big deal. We were talking about that here where, I mean, it is a leadership 9, so it should be pretty dependable. You can be careful with stuff and make sure, like, the easy stuff to die, like the eagles, are more than 6 inches away from your big monsters. But overall, you know, you could sneak a BSB into the list, but, you know, you wouldn't want... The Griffin can't be a BSB unless I want to drop the scroll, or move the scroll to the Archmage, but then I gotta drop the Book of Hoeth, which is pretty damn awesome. So, you know, it's just one of those risks, right? A lot of the lists, sometimes if you want to go and really push one skew hard, you gotta have a liability to make up for it. And this liability is slightly leadership, but I mean, we're not talking about leadership 4 trolls, we're talking about leadership 9, you know, so it's really, really solid, usually, right? So, plus normally we shouldn't be taking tests anyway, right? We're getting in combat, we're killing stuff, we're winning. It's the other side that's taking the leadership test. So, anyway, a wonky game. Look forward to seeing OnceBitten cover it from his side as well. And either way, that's it. That's all the games I have for Brawlers, all done, and hope you guys like them all.